What does that say? Binge reader. We are binge reading metrics. Okay. These are just kind of the metrics that I like to look at and the column setup that I've had for, since fairly recently. When you're beginning in Meta ads or TikTok ads, there's something called paralysis by analysis. You become paralyzed and kind of stunned by all the different information. So the first thing, obviously, you're gonna have campaign, ad level. We don't have to do that right now. So what we have is the delivery. Of course, you want to have delivery on because you want to see if your ads are active, if they're inactive, if there's a problem. There's also in the when you click this and when you custom your columns or custom create it. I'll show that later. There's also a section where you can add actions. Don't add that because you can just click up here and then it'll just see all that shit. Your next thing be budget. Of course, budget because you want to see and you want to be able to raise it, at will. So have your budget. Right after, you want to have amount spent. Right beside amount spent, you can see purchase conversion value. Now this is good because you can see the total revenue essentially of all the purchases, and you can see the total amount spent. So you can have a pretty good gauge just by looking at the amount spent and the purchase conversion value, the total purchase conversion value. You can have a pretty good gauge of how successful your product is, and then we'll go into ROAS after. But these things are good to look at, right? And then we go to here, purchases, of course. So you'll have your purchases right beside your purchases conversion value, and you can just see over the accumulated, the total number of purchases, what was the total value. You want to have your cost per purchase. This is very, very important. Don't skip this. I know a lot of people focus on this here, which we'll talk about in a second, but cost per purchase is very important as well. So your cost per purchase is the amount of money that you pay Meta to get a sale. Meta's whole goal is to get you the highest volume of purchases at the lowest possible price, or else you wouldn't stay on their platform anymore because you'd be losing money with a higher cost per purchase. I know a lot of people will skip the cost per purchase. They won't look at it, but instead they'll just solely look at the ROAS. You want to look at both of these side by side. These two things side by side, amount spent and purchase conversion value, the ROAS represents that. So that's it put into a number. And as you'll see here, it's 0.51 because the amount spent was 100, purchase conversion value was 50. So it's 0.50. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got a 50x ROAS or 100x ROAS. I'm going to scale this to the moon. It got one purchase, okay? So you can't even look at it like that, right? The ROAS could be higher, like 2 ROAS or 3 ROAS or 4x ROAS, and it could have less purchases. So you can't go off ROAS alone. To put it short, impressions is the total X number, the total amount of people, that see your ad. Reach includes also people that could have seen your ad again, which is it's less than the impressions. We'll go to frequency. Frequency is the value that explains the relationship between impressions and reach. So if you have for example, anything above a 1.5 frequency, don't cut the ad. Assuming your other metrics are healthy, but don't cut the ad if you think it has like a shitty ROAS, because it's actually retargeting your content, which is really good. So you have you're getting cold eyes, and then you're retargeting them, right? So you're getting kind of warm leads, warm clients. I'm not in advertising. Warm buyers. The CTR is not going to tell you all the information you want to see, because as a beginner, I only have 1,000 impressions in here, right? So my CTR is either going to be inflated or deflated, because I only have 1,000, right? So if you look at your CTR and you're like, oh my gosh, like 50% CTR, it's like you could only have one click, you know what I mean? So actually look at the link clicks, it's important. And then you have CPC, which is your cost per link click. I don't need to explain that a ton. It's self-defining. CTR, the link click through rate. Ideally, the CPC should be below 1.5, 1 on Meta. CTR should be above 2, 3. Anything above 3 is probably good. CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions. You can kind of see CPM. This is high here, $100 CPM, because I only got 1,000 impressions. So all of the impressions I paid, $95, almost $95 for. adds to cart, you want to have that in there. It'll just show you, especially for the individual ads, you'll see here, this got 4 add to carts, this got 2 add to carts, this got 2 add to carts. So that'll just show you if the individual ad is good. You want to make sure that you're actually looking at add to carts on the ad level so you can see, oh, okay, this one had and by the way, this is what I mean. It's got a 14% CTR and a 37%, 0.30%, 0.37% CPC. Like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And you're like, well, it's got one link click, right? So look at the add to cart, see if there's any value, any high perceived value. And then you'll see the hook rate and the hold rate. Now, I should also add that if your add to cart rate is, maybe higher on here, like for example on this one, but you don't have that much purchases, like this got 4 add to carts, but how much purchases? Ooh. 1 purchase. It's like, ugh. And I'm still trying to figure and, kind of reconcile this idea out in my head. This got 1 purchase and 2 add to carts. So take it with a grain of salt. All right, you want to go up here to columns. You want to click the little, this thing here, blanking, the pen icon. It's nothing like coffee at 10 o'clock at night. It's pretty simple. If you want to create a metric, you just do like, I don't know, for example, just type what it is, and then you just click the little whatever it is here. Then you do the other thing. It's pretty simple. So for hook rate, that's it. Through plays divided by 3-second video plays. Hook rate is 3-second video plays divided by impressions. So I hope that helped a little bit. What has been going on with my store? We failed. Everything failed. I failed. So I'm quitting e-commerce for good. No, not really. Yeah. So not too much to talk about. Again, I'm a beginner. I have low budget. As you can see here, this is the campaign that I ran. It's not super important. It's not very interesting, but combination of low ad spend, perhaps the product not having a high perceived value, demand, previous restrictions on my Meta ad account, frequent cutting and messing with the ads due to my perception of them being poor performing, which is ironic because I'm trying to see how they will perform after the 3 days. So that's also that's probably one of the primary reasons that this did shit, is because the low budget combined with constantly cutting shit. After the first day when an ad got like $50 spend but no purchases, I was like, come on, bro, like something's happening. And so I just cut that ad. I just turned the ad off. Like you'll see down here, I just cut the I don't know why it's not showing. I just cut the ads off, right? After it spends a lot of money, like $36, I cut it off. And then I was like, oh shit, well this got like $10 spend and it got 1 purchase. So it's odd. It's odd to look at these metrics as a low level beginner with a low budget, because you can't really get like a solid answer, right? So going forward, what am I going to change? Well, please join the Discord. There's tons of value in there. I'm so grateful to all the guys that have joined, and it's really showing me that the e-com space is kind of bigger. I want to do something better than, just like drop shipping or e-commerce. I want to kind of make it into like a real community where there's, transparency and answers and all that. And so going forward, gonna raise the budgets a little bit, gonna do more in-depth product research, gonna stick to a better product research criteria. And for the pump and dump stores, even just in the past day, my mentality has shifted to let's make everything perfect. It's shifted more to how can I get the most money possible in period? How can I get the most money possible? Right now, maybe that wasn't my primary focus before, which is wrong. So that's my primary focus. For this next store that I'm gonna run, I'm just gonna sit down. I'm not gonna rush through it. I'm gonna be speedy, of course, but I'm gonna sit down and ask myself for whatever I do, whether it's the website creation or the ad creatives. And I'm lucky I can talk to some of the guys in the Discord there. But I'm sitting down and thinking, okay, what can I do in this next store that is going to get me the most amount of sales? That is what I want. I want the most amount of sales. I can worry about profit, later after I'm getting the sales. I need sales. How can I get sales? What is the best way to make the most amount of sales? That's what I'm focused on. So that's going to be my mentality in regards to the product, website creation, the design of the website, my offers. On the creative side, yeah, the product itself, the angles, the deep market research, the copy, my budget, mm, the campaign levels set up, the campaign ad set ads, the campaign structure, um, and yeah, so I hope the video was helpful. Please join the Discord. Eventually I'll make it paid. I'm not talking about like stupid shit. I'll make it like $5 a month or something. That's not because I want to make money. I'll probably just like gamble the money or something. I don't know. But just to honestly, I'll just make it $1. Honestly, it's just to like get people who, how you have those bots in the Discord. It's like, dear, I made $1 billion in quarter 4. Would you like to see, like, my DMs are open? They're bots, right? You can't really get that out, I guess, only with an application, but an application to... Anyways, the point is I want to make it a community that's like actually, a real community, not some bullshit. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I will shorten it so it's not